3 beautiful custom rail rods will be given away on Monday, May the 19th on Tackle Shop Confessions Live. And you can win one of these gorgeous rods for only $5. You can get into this great raffle and win one of 3 beautiful rail rods that are going to go out to some lucky people this Monday night, live on Tackle Shop Confessions. All you have to do is contact Chuck Zimmer from Z Custom Rods, and Chuck will enroll you and give you the chance at a win for a lifetime. Beautiful custom rods. Make sure you text or call Chuck at 310-918-1448. That's this Monday night on Tackle Shop Confessions with Friedman Adventures, the chance of a lifetime. Only $5 to enter. Call Chuck now. Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California on this gorgeous morning. Man, that raffle Monday night. In case you're not familiar with Friedman Adventures and our YouTube channel, on Monday nights we do a show called Tackle Shop Confessions, and we do that show live. And you'll be able to win one of those beautiful rail rods you saw at the very beginning of the morning briefing this morning for only $5. Just contact Chuck Zimmer and he'll get you enrolled. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about Mexico. We're going to talk about the bluefin tuna situation. The weather's calming down. It's looking great. There was limits of white sea bass up there in the Channel Islands, and the boys are at it again today. There's been great halibut fishing, and the Southern California surf is also trying to come to life. Whoa, if that doesn't look like a big old sand crab patch to me, I've got to wait for this water to recede to take a look at it, but out of the corner of my eye, it looked like there was a nice sand crab patch to me. Let's check this out here real soon. Come on, I thought I saw, man, am I dreaming? Am I seeing things? We'll try to see if that manifests itself maybe a little bit later in the show. Here, we'll get a look now. I'm thinking, maybe I am dreaming. Maybe I am seeing things. And maybe there are actually sand crabs here on the beach. I don't know. I don't see it right now, but I'll be looking for it during the report and see if I can't dig some up for you. There has been reports of more and more sand crabs showing up here, and that is also really, really great news. All right, I'll stop blabbering. I'll find your sand crabs in a little bit. We'll keep you, oh, wait a minute. What's that look like right there? Is there any here? Oh yeah, I felt one. That looked like the right. I know, I'm getting off on something. Let me get back to what I'm supposed to be doing. That looked like some sand crabs there. We'll check it out. Surf fishing coming together. Back in a moment. You know what time it is. I got to get ready for the MB and stop this nonsense with the sand crab. Is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. All right, sorry for getting carried away about the sand crabs there, but man, that is such an integral part to the food chain here in Southern California. Of course, grunion runs going on right now. We have a couple more nights of that. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, is that good? Beautiful, beautiful summer-like morning here. It is absolutely gorgeous. If you don't mind, we'll go down to the beach again and see if we can't find a sand crab, but we want to get into the report. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Make sure you share these videos everywhere. Subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, and don't forget to tick that little bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. You can also follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Always great to be with you all. Boy, what a great night it was last night at Hoff's Hut in Torrance, California. Danny Cadota did a great lecture on bucket list fishing. You can see that right now on Friedman Adventures. And of course, Matt Groff, who runs the South Bay Anglers Club, does such a great job. We had a lot of fun with him last night and all the great people who showed up. It was indeed a pleasure. And remember, you can watch that right now. So check it out while it is up and enjoy Janny's bucket list fishing. And don't forget that rail rod is going out. 3 of them. They're beautiful. They're going to be going out on Monday night on Tackle Shop Confessions. Make sure you check that out. Let's get to Mexico. We'll talk Mexico. Then we're going to get into our bluefin tuna. We got a lot more to talk about with all of you. All right, down in Mexico, the waters are starting to warm up just like they are here in the Southern California surf. This water, again, is very, very warm and beautiful here this morning. Once again, down there in Cabo San Lucas, more yellowfin, a lot of roosters along the beach moving in there. Good Sierra fishing. We're also seeing some striped marlin push in there. Definitely starting to see the yellowtail move out because they do not like the hot water. They enjoy cooler water. So that is all in transition. It's only going to get better as we go along. Baja Pirates reporting some pretty good Dorado fishing down there in the La Paz area. We've seen some excellent Dorado just starting to happen right now. Lacks a little consistency, but it is definitely starting to happen in the rooster fishing. It's been fantastic. In fact, Ray Millman last night, great guy. I fished with Ray for decades. Ray was talking about a recent trip he made down to Tail Hunter International. Our dear friends Jonathan and Jill Rodan. And Ray said, man, I had 10 roosters in one day to 30 pounds. Really great rooster fishing down there in the La Paz area. They're starting to see more and more of that Dorado push in there. Also, the yellowtail are kind of out of there right now. Still occasional yellowtail, but not all that much. And same kinds of things going on in Santa Rosalia, Loreto, and Mulahay. We're seeing that transition now where the warm water brings new species. It's an exciting time of the year down there in San Quintin. Our very own Paulina. We had such a good time with Paulina this past weekend. It was really great down there in Ensenada, but she'll be heading to San Quintin because there's a big tournament going on. And of course, we wish her all the very, very best. Her and her lovely mother, Berenice, are heading to San Quintin, where there's been occasional good yellowtail fishing. There's been some big halibut, a lot of lingcod and rockfish, and there's bluefin tuna offshore that have been reluctant to bite. That's kind of been off the bite here recently, but hopefully that is going to get going. Again, we're watching that all for you very, very closely. And then in Ensenada, there's been occasional yellowtail, occasional flurries of barracuda. Again, kind of spring trying to kick into gear, coming out of the colder winter water months into the springtime. Big bonitos still all around there. I mean, all around Todos Santos, Puna Banda. Guys fishing from the rocks down there, catching them. They're getting them down there by La Bufadora. It has been fantastic, and lots of rockfish backing that up. One of these days, that barracuda is going to not only bite, but bite several days in a row, and that is the same we are hoping for the yellowtail. Calico and Seabass also trying to come on a little bit more. All right, let's talk bluefin tuna because the boys are going to get a look at it. I talked to Max Nui. He runs the Pacific Voyager out of C4 Sport Fishing, all set for his Friday morning departure. He'll be heading out to check out that bluefin tuna zone, and it looks like we've got a couple of days of decent weather now. It looks like the foreseeable future is going to give us a chance at this bluefin tuna. It's been slow overall on the BFT here recently. We think because of the full moon. The full moon, every time we go into that moon phase, has produced slow fishing on the bluefin tuna. So this is nothing new. It's not a revelation. We've seen it for several years. We've seen it this year again. We're coming out of the influence of that full moon. Our weather is starting to straighten out. I think we're in store for a hit on the BFT tonight. Could happen tonight, could happen today in the daytime. Although the daytime tuna fishing, as you well know, if you've been watching us here on the morning briefing, has been really slow. Hadn't been all that good at all. It's been very, very slow. So we'll see if we can't get a daytime bite, but I'm banking still on the nighttime fishing being best of all. Remember to listen to the captain when he tells you to drop, do it fast. get down there as fast as you can, drop 50 feet below where he tells you the fish are, and wind 50 feet above. So if he says fish are at 300 feet, you're dropping to 350 and winding up to 250. And then freeze full and work that column again, assuming that your jig is vertical. That is the most important thing. If you get scoped out, start the process over. If you have to go up to the bow and cast upwind and sink your jig down deep, that's what you're going to want to do. It's hard work and it pays off. 80-pound Spectra Max Nui on the Pacific Voyager says that's plenty of pulling power. It's all you need, and it will also help your jig get down faster. So he likes 80-pound Spectra, 200-pound bite leaders, and jigs right now, at least before we had some weather, you know, anywhere from 240 to 400 grams, but in that mid-range, like that 240, 300 gram range seems to have been best of all here recently. We'll keep our eyes on this for you. Hopefully we'll scratch out some BFT for you all here in the Southern California area. Before we get up to that white sea bass fishing, which has been great, we see a little bit of sign of yellowtail at the Coronado Islands, but no bite. It's all rockfish there for the most part. Having said that, we got some nice weather now, and this water is much warmer, and that warm water could produce a yellow bite at the islands. We'll be watching that very, very closely for you all. There's that big bonito around. Half-day boats out of San Diego. Some of them get that big bonito from time to time. Other times, they're focused on the rockfish and a few bass. Dana Wharf, we see a lot of short calico bass with good action. And then elsewhere, we're seeing mostly rockfish for the half and three-quarter day boys that are fishing up and down the Southern California coast, sculpin, rockfish, that kind of thing. San Clemente Island, we've seen a signal of yellowtail out there. We'll watch that for you very, very closely. Guys are returning to the island. A few calico bass and lots of rockfish. But the yellow signal there at Clemente has been significant and looks pretty good. And surface iron that has produced some pretty good bites, like a Tatty 45. You know, the old mint color just seems to work so well. So we'll keep our eyes on Clemente for you all. We are going on the El Patron to Catalina Island. I'll see you guys in the morning. Boat leaves at 5. First 11 people get a bunk. So you might want to be down there about 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. It looks like a rockfish trip from my vantage point. However, I would bring at least 2 outfits to the trip, something to fish, surface fish, and I'm talking 20, 25-pound outfit, and then a 40-pound outfit. If you want to bring a little bit of extra gear, you can, but with those 2 rods and reels, you should be covered. I'd have some 16-ounce torpedo sinker along with some 12-ounce torpedo sinkers, and then a variety of hooks, sliding egg sinkers. You'll be in really great shape, and hopefully we're going to get that surface bite going tomorrow. I would love to see somebody throwing a surface iron, hang a forky on the El Patron tomorrow, or a nice big gar. That would be so cool. But overall, it's been slower on the surface bite. It's been mostly rockfish, but things change in this business. You all know that. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the morning. That's going to be a lot of fun, no doubt about that. Hey, let me take you down to the long range situation before going to the Channel Islands and tell you all that the Royal Star just finished up a great trip. In fact, a great guy by the name of Dennis White was on that trip. Dennis says he's got so much fish, he'll give some away. He's that kind of a generous guy. I think that is fantastic. Dennis said they had yellowfin tuna to over 140 pounds fishing the Lijos Rocks region, and they had some yellowtail over 60 pounds. Magnificent big yellows down there at the rocks. I love that kind of fishing. Happy for you, Dennis, that you had such a great trip. And he said the crew on the Royal Star, and I know this very, very well, fantastic. Couldn't be any better. They were absolutely fabulous as always. Diego Nuno is one of those crew members, as well as Tim Ekstrom and the great people on the Royal Star that always and for years have put out 120,000% for each and every one of you. I think that's great stuff. Hey, pretty soon here, you're going to want to have a tuna riot popper. Why? Because they work so well, man. When that bluefin gets up on the surface and is foaming, there's nothing better than a tuna riot popper. They've got them at 22nd Street Landing. You can pick them up there, and I'll have information on where you're going to be able to order even more tuna Riot poppers, constructed beautifully. Heavy gear. Man, they'll put up to anything you can dish out, including stomping on them in the parking lot. I've known some people who have done that after imbibing too much up there at 22nd Street Landing. Really good product. Hope you can use it soon. Great fishing south of the border on the Royal Star. Up in the Channel Islands, we continue to see really good sea bass signal. We thought all this wind might put the kibosh on it, but it didn't do that for the people on the gray light yesterday, as they had limits of white sea bass. That is one sea bass per rod. They had 7 white sea bass on board the gray light. They have to be 28 inches in length. They are great eating, hard fighting, lots of fun. They are really and truly a magnificent fish, and the epicenter of the bite has definitely been in the Channel Islands. That didn't stop the Pride about 4 days ago from running up there on a day and a half trip and getting his limits of white sea bass, along with some great halibut fishing out of 22nd Street Landing. But no doubt about it, the best bite is up there in the Channel Islands. And when they get good weather, man, you're apt to catch those fish, along mixed with it some great halibut fishing, and along with that, tons of rockfish, including lingcod. I mean, it's been great. The Aloha Spirit yesterday couldn't fish as far as they wanted to, but with 20 guys, they had 40 nice lingcod. They had a white sea bass, they had a halibut, they had a barracuda, calico bass. I'm sorry, they had 5 halibut on board that trip. Really a great trip, no doubt about it, on the Aloha Spirit out of Cisco's and Oxnard. Speaking of the Channel Islands, you're going to want to jump on the Island Spirit because they do such a great job out of Ventura Sport Fishing. The Island Spirit with Captain Daniel Hadaway fishes every day of the week, and man, they put in the effort for every single trip. Kids fish free on Sundays, and on Wednesdays they focus solely on halibut, and they do a great job. Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing, venturasportfishing.com, or give them a call at 805-676-3474. Don't forget about the El Patron. We'll be on there on Friday, but you can be on there on Saturday and Sunday. And you can do that by going to www.longbeachsportfishing.org. That is truly a fantastic boat with brand new engines going to Catalina Island. And of course, we'll be shooting a video on board the El Patron tomorrow, and I should have that for you early Saturday morning if all goes as planned. So not only can you get a look at the El Patron and get a look at the operation, but you can also see what currently is going on at Catalina Island. Looking forward to bringing that to all of you. All right, Southern California surf. You know, maybe I'm hallucinating, but it looked like a sand crab patch to me. Kind of hard to dig them up with your hands. You need the device to rake through this to really do it right. But there has been reports of sand crabs here. Jeff Perea has been fishing this beach here, Surfside, and he's been coming up with really good barb perch fishing, occasional walleye. I know there's a lot more yellowfin croaker biting up there near the Topaz Rock Jetty, so that's an area worth taking a look at. Overall, surf fishing's been hit and miss, to say the very least. Guys are catching a few halibut, Bolsa Chica area. Down here, there's been a few perch and a few yellowfin croaker. I'm thinking that spotfin croaker bite is imminent now. And halibut during this grunion run, we have a run tonight and tomorrow night, you know, that's going to bring those flatties in here. They're ambush predators. They set up out there on the surf line, and when those grunion move in, they ambush them. So mimicking that bait, matching the hatch, a really good idea right now. So fishing a lucky craft type lure, I'm a big proponent of fishing a chrome crocodile. That also works really, really well. Wow, it is gorgeous here this morning, everybody. I think you're going to truly enjoy a walk on the beach or doing some surf fishing. And hey, one more thing, you know, some of these guys that free dive and shoot white sea bass, my hat's off to them. They really, really have to be patient. They have to be in really good shape, and they do a great job. And one of those guys is Juan Carlos Aguilar. He had a fish, a white sea bass that he shot, pushing 60 pounds. Check that baby out. That is one angling feat, if you call it angling. I don't know if you do. Spearfishing feat that was magnificent. Really great. Really good to see that. It shows you the size of the fish that are available here in Southern California. All right, don't forget, contact Chuck Zimmer now. Monday night, it'll be here before you know it. $5 and you can own a rail rod pushing $1,000, several $1,000s in rods. 3 of them will be given away on Tackle Shop Confessions Monday night. And you can get your tickets right now and then either watch the show live or watch the archived edition at your convenience. You don't have to be present, obviously, to win, and we'll ship the rod anywhere in this big world to you. Take care. Have a great one. And I hope to see you really, really soon.